Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. And welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day, wherever you may be around the globe. You know, it certainly is a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful morning to just get up. And, you know, if you have the ability, go out there in the sun. Go out there and get a breath of fresh air. That's what I'm trying to say this morning, a breath of fresh air. You know, it does so much good to you to get up early in the morning. And like I always tell you, before you get in the presence of others, get in the presence of God and empty yourself out and ask Him to fill you for that day. And then the next thing you do, you get in the mirror and you look yourself straight in the eyes and you begin to, affirm yourself. I am powerful. I am unique. I love myself. I am loved. I am successful. Whatever it is that you want to speak to yourself, okay? Speak to yourself and, bring yourself alive, okay? Bring yourself alive because sometimes we may feel like, this not get enough, but bring yourself alive. And the best way you could do that is talk to yourself. Get in that mirror. And you know something else I like to do? I like to go outside early in the morning and just get a breath of fresh air. Sometimes it's good to, get out there and, if coffee is your favorite drink, just, drink your coffee or, tea. I love tea. Tea's my favorite drink. So I go out and I, sip some tea and, just relax and reflect. And it does something to just, calm you down and get you in a different mind frame. And, it's so good. This is what I do, I love nature. So I go out there, I listen to the birds, and, it kind of calms me. It kind of soothes me. So, this is, things that I do that, make it help you too. You might not have a lot of time because maybe you work in the mornings or something like that. But if you have an opportunity, just try it. Frame your day and just think of the good things. I put on my social media this morning about refreshing. The word for today, refreshing. I feel like I'm being refreshed. I feel like I'm being renewed. I feel like, there's these things inside of me that's coming alive. There's so much on the inside of each and every one of us. But, at different times, things become more alive. They're become more real to you, that revelation of those things, and you see them in a different way. So I thought of this morning. What can I bring to my social media audience? And the word refreshing. All things are new. All things are new. I want you to really meditate and concentrate on that word refreshing and see what it means to you this morning. All things new. No matter what you may have been struggling with, no matter what you've been going through, take that time. And like I told you over the weekend, and this was a perfect weekend to go back and reflect and see who you are. Get in touch with who you are, not who people, want you to be or who you think that you should be based on somebody else's opinion of you, but who are you? Who are you? And I do this, from time to time. I go back and I really, assess myself and see what I have to offer. Because, it changes from time to time. You begin to discover new things about yourself. You begin to see things in a different way. And what I mean by a different way, there's a higher heights and there's deeper depths inside of each and every one of us. So, just take that time out and, reflect. I spent the weekend. Let me go to the comments right quick. Good morning, Cynthia. How are you doing today? It's so nice to see you here. Yeah, refreshing. Chats are refreshing. They certainly are, you know, especially when, we take that extra time to, you know, refresh ourselves, refresh our minds. But, you know, over this weekend, I, really got into studying, okay, and listening to some live events. That's what it was. And it was so impactful. It was so impactful. And this is something that I do each and every weekend, each and every weekend. And not only on the weekends, even, at night or the afternoons, whenever these broadcasts are available, because it does so much, it does so much for who I am. That's why it's good to know who you are and what you have to offer. And the revelation that I received from what I heard was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. So always take that time out to, find out who you are and what's inside of you. And I tell you all the time about those treasures and those gems that you have inside of you that you have yet to discover how much value that you hold on the inside of you, that you hold. And sometimes you don't even see this. And other people may see it, but you don't even see it. But it's so good to come into that realization of what you have and to begin to appreciate yourself. And with that being said, let me introduce myself to those of you who don't know me and tell you what I do. I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, and I teach you how to maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table. Stop leaving money on the table because so many times, whether you're that entrepreneur or whether you're that leader or whether you're that author or whatever it is that you may be saying that you do, you're leaving money on the table because you're not seeing all of your value. You're not seeing those treasures, those gems that lie on the inside of you. And like I say, other people can see it, you know. They may be pulling you this way, pulling you that way to help them here and to help them there. But what about you? What about you? Women, especially women, because basically that's who my audience is, women. And after we finish taking care of everybody else's needs, we're too tired to, tend to our own needs because a lot of times we don't even see our needs. We don't even see what we have on the inside until we come into a situation like a suddenly. We come into a situation where we have to look on the inside of us to pull out something in order to survive. That was my testimony, and that's something that happened to me back in 2006 when the housing market went bust. When I was climbing up the corporate ladder, I was so unfulfilled. It doesn't matter about how much you get paid. It doesn't matter about the perks. It doesn't matter about the bonuses. When there's that void inside of you, it just doesn't matter. You'll go along. You'll do things by rote. You'll do things out of routine. But still, you're so unfulfilled. So unfulfilled. But once I discovered what I had on the inside of me, I began to live and not just exist. I began to live my life on purpose. And I didn't stop there. I pulled out of myself what my hobby and I turned that into, a viable business. My hobby was writing books just to see how far I could expand my mindset, just to have something to put into people who showed up for these nonprofit groups that I was invited to, the attendees, to leave something in their hands. And once I had no other choice. Once I came to that place of coming to the end of myself, I looked inside to see what I had that I could work with. And I found out that I could turn my hobby into a profit. So I began writing my books for profit this time. And after my friends saw the success that I was having, they said, well, Gertrude, can you help us write books? Can you help me write a book? Oh, I got this friend over here. I have this coworker who's thinking about writing books. So I used to teach them. And then I started, not only teaching them, but also I started publishing their books. And then that turned into other things. That turned into coaching. It turned into a lot. But beforehand, I didn't see it. I didn't know what I had on the inside. So that's the purpose of, finding that quiet place and finding out who you are and what you have to work with, the value that's on the inside of you, those gems and those treasures. Somebody's waiting on you. And somebody's waiting on you with money in hand. Your uniqueness. That's what draws your audience to you. So, as I'm talking about, this subject today, the self-care weekend, about not only getting in touch with who you are, but the thoughts, the feelings, the conversations, having awareness of all of those things. And it ties, into the topic today that I'm going to talk about, dealing with your confidence being challenged. Dealing with your confidence being challenged. And first, it's a discipline of the mind. Because a lot of times, our confidence is challenged. And we can't fully appreciate ourselves because we don't know who we are. There was a time in my life where I didn't like anything about myself. I didn't like my name. I didn't like my looks. I didn't like my size. I didn't like, the color of my skin. I didn't like my hair. I didn't like anything about myself. Not even the tone of my voice. I did not like. And it was a long journey, okay, for me, struggling through these things, trying to fit in, trying to change some things. Even thought about changing my name legally because I didn't like it. And I didn't have that confidence. I didn't have, that assurity. I didn't have, whatever I'm trying to say, that strength to see that I was uniquely made, that there was something about me that somebody was looking for, if I may say that. Just like with you. It may not be those things that you don't like about yourself, those particular things that I said, but there's somebody who's looking for your uniqueness. They're looking for your voice. They're looking for, something about you. And once I learned how to, and that's a whole different conversation because there's so many things that I could dive into with that. And this platform just don't allow the time. I began dealing with my confidence being challenged. And there was many things, many things. And I'm going to start going through these things. And maybe you could identify with some of these things that I'm going to tell you about. These things had a big impact in my life. And not until I learned how to appreciate myself, how to be unapologetically me, and not try to be somebody else, not being ashamed of who I was, did I begin to live my life, because I began to appreciate who I was. And the first one I'm going to talk about is words. Okay? Words. And the one that had the biggest impact on me was that inner voice. You know, those conversations that you have all day long with yourself, with inside of yourself, you know, those voices talking. And every time you try to reach this way, it's telling you something else. And it has you stuck in a place of uncertainty, of what will people think? How will they feel? What will they say? Those are some of the things that, you know, I had a time getting over. Those inner voices, you know, my inner conversation. I won't say inner voices, but the inner conversation that I was thinking about. What will people say? What will they think if I do this or I'll do that? Another one, when I'm talking about words and I'm talking about dealing with your confidence being challenged, acknowledging who you are not. Don't acknowledge who you are not. And this comes from, you know, people trying to put labels on you. Or people say, well, you supposed to be this person. You supposed to be that person, you know? Oh, you disappointed me. No. It's who are you? And you have to stop receiving things that people want you to be, who they want you to be, what they want you to do. That's very, very important. Things people say and you accept them. You don't have to accept those things just because people say it about you. You have to learn how to be unapologetically you. People are going to say whatever. They're going to think whatever. But it's what you receive and it's what you accept that will come to challenge your confidence. When people come to me with problems with confidence and low self-esteem, the thing that I look at is they don't know who they are. Good morning, Lucky. How you doing today? It's great seeing you. You know, they don't know who they are with confidence issues. Because once you come into who you are, you'll have that confidence. See, it's like it gives you strength. I'm not going to say it's like it gives you strength when you walk in your truth. When you walk in being unapologetically you. It gives you strength because it connects you with your true self, your true purpose. And I'm going to tell you, that's all that matters. You matter. You being who you are and not being ashamed of who you are. Because, like I said, especially during my teenage years, I'm going to tell y'all, and y'all might say, Gertrude, that's hard to believe, but I'm going to tell you something. I was shy. I was very, very shy. If you talk to me, I'll talk to you. But I'm not going to hold this conversation with you. As long as you talk, I will talk. But I'm not going to initiate a conversation. That was me. I didn't know who I was. Nobody ever taught me that. They never taught me that. A lot of things that I tell you, or not a lot of things, everything that I tell you on this broadcast, I'm telling you from experience. I've been there. I've been there. Let me go to the comments right quick. Let's see. Yes, I've been busy making products and stockpiling inventory. Okay, for your upcoming production. Okay, well that's good. I'm glad that you're doing that and getting your work out. That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. I always love to see people creating things and progressing along their journey, their designed pathway to success. That's a beautiful thing, Lucky. I'm glad that you shared that with us this morning. Um, but those words, stop allowing people to put labels on you that you're not. Okay, that you're not. Let me move to the next one. Here's a very dominant one, that criticism. Okay, criticism. A lot of times people are sensitive to being criticized, always being put down, and that's not fair. That you're in a space and people are always putting you down. I have this acquaintance, and she told me that every time she was around her family, they would put her down. They would make jokes about her at these big family functions, okay? They would make jokes about her. They would laugh about it all in this gathering. It wasn't in private, it was in front of everybody. They would write songs about her, all of these things. So this brought down her confidence in herself. And when people have a low self-esteem and confidence issues, a lot of times it hinders them from being the best version of themselves. Or even it affects their productivity, their creativity, and all of these things. Because she would want to do things and it will all be in her head. And she would never come to a point where she actually did these things because it stayed stuck right here. And here's another thing that could be leading to procrastination, because I tell you that word procrastination is used loosely, but a lot of stuff falls under procrastination. And in her case, it came from criticism, sensitivity to being criticized, always being put down. It's one thing people on the outside putting you down all the time, but people in your family, in your household, bringing it out every time there's a big family function, you always the butt of the jokes. And that does a lot to lower people's self-esteem, lower their confidence. And then you begin to self-criticism with yourself. You begin to put yourself down because this is what you're seeing. Okay? You're seeing this. Well, I'm nothing. I'm nobody. Who wants to buy anything from me? I'm not special. I'm not significant. I'm just somebody over here. So that's the way you're going to carry yourself. That's the way you're going to treat yourself. And now you're going to teach other people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. And that's not fair. Because you are somebody. You have worth. You have value. And don't you ever think that there's nothing special about you. You are brilliant. You are brilliant. That's why they always want you to be around. They're always asking you questions. They always want you to do things because they see your value. They see how they could use you. But it's time for you to stop allowing people to use you. Stop allowing people to use you. Stop allowing people to pull the life out of you, suck the life out of you. I call it bloodsuckers. Okay? They suck the very life out of you. And then when they're finished with you, they just throw you to the side for the next time. And then you allow them to come back. Now, come on, y'all. You got to stop that. You have to stop it. I'm dealing with your confidence and your confidence being challenged. Okay? Somewhere you got to stand up and say, enough is enough. Enough is enough. You're no longer going to treat me this way. And it's fair. Okay? It's fair. You are a human being that has feelings. You have value. You have worth. And you have something to bring to the world stage. Okay? See yourself. Then you'll begin to, when the criticism comes, you'll begin seeing yourself as not having the ability to do or to have. You think that, well, I can't have that. I'll never achieve that. I'll never get that. Why? Why do you see yourself not being able to achieve or do or have? You have to stop seeing yourself as, always being broke or thinking, oh, let me get the cheap one. No. You got to shift your mindset. Okay? Shift your mindset. Okay? Shift your mindset. Because it's just a lack of knowledge of how to obtain these things. There's no lack in this world. There's abundance. Don't care what people are saying. Don't care what the gas prices are. Don't care about inflation, okay? It's just people being greedy, trying to hoard up stuff. But there's enough money in this world for you to make your millions. And you got to believe that, okay? You have to believe that. But you can't allow people to beat you down to a point where you can see, well, I just need the scraps. If I can just get the scraps. No, you don't need the scraps. The best is yet to come. That's why I put on my social media today, refreshing. Everything is brand new. Everything is new. New. Think of new. Don't think of yourself the next time you go in that store. Don't say, I can't afford it. Don't say, I can't afford it. You look for a way that you can get it. Okay? But don't even think it, I can't afford it. Look for an opportunity. Look for something inside of you that will bring you a monetary return. Think about that. Because as long as you have this, okay, you could create. As long as you're not thinking all those negative things that's going through your mind, because you have accepted it and you have received it into yourself, where now this is the way you're seeing yourself. That's got to stop. Dealing with your confidence being challenged. Let's move to the next one, okay? Isolation, okay? Wanting to be alone, not wanting to communicate with people. Now, there's a difference. Sometimes you have to pull away because you need your rest, because you need to have time to create something. You need, that space. You have to rest. But all the time, turning down invitations, turning down things. Some of you need new friends. You need new friends. Some of you need to change your surroundings. There's a whole world out here, y'all. A whole world. If you don't like something, change it. There's nothing holding you back except yourself. Change it. Okay? Like I told you this morning, get out and get some fresh air. Get out there and just sit back and allow your mind to be expanded. Just begin to look around at nature. Just begin to create great things in your mind. See yourself as achieving. See yourself as this great person, because you are, okay? I'm not just saying this with words, because you are. You are that exquisite person. You're that great person. You're that brilliant person. And begin picturing yourself that way. See yourself. You have to see it and believe it. And when those negative voices come in your head, those thoughts, or the voices, I'm talking about your voice, that inner chatter going on in your mind, dismiss it. Don't think about it. Dismiss it. Think about things that's going to build you and not tear you down. But anytime you feel this isolation where you just need to be by yourself and always want to be by yourself and always turning down opportunities, whether it's for business or for pleasure, begin to do something different. Change your surroundings. Try something new. You remember, there's levels in this. There's levels. If it's something that you're in that's you seem like it's at a standstill, it's not going anywhere, try something new. Don't be stuck there. Don't be stuck there because you have allowed what people say about you. You have allowed what people have criticized you about to stop you. Be unapologetically you. You don't have to apologize to no one. And you don't have to be mean about it. But teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. Now, how are you treating yourself? You should be treating yourself good. Very good. With excellence. I always tell people, celebrate your milestones as you're traveling down your road to success. Celebrate your milestones. It's not the big moments, but each achievement that you reach, celebrate it. And if you don't have people to celebrate it with, you celebrate it. Take yourself out to dinner if nobody wants to go. Take yourself to the movies. Take yourself on a trip, whatever it may be. You celebrate. If they don't want to be with you, hey, I tell them, it's your loss. It's your loss because I have given you an opportunity and you don't want to be a part of me. But you have to see that. You have to understand who you are and be unapologetically you. I don't apologize for anything. People want to walk out your life, let them go. Okay? Let them go. Don't even hold on to it. Let them go. Because they missed out on the opportunity of knowing you and being around you. Let them go. Don't fret it. Here's another one that when I'm talking about dealing with your confidence being challenged, building up walls, okay? Building up walls. Have you ever noticed that sometimes people are defensive and angry for no apparent reason? Y'all know people like that? I know you do. And people kind of back off those people. But you know what I've noticed? That people like that, they're shielding their hearts from being hurt. They're tired of being hurt. They're tired of putting themselves out there. And every time they put themselves out there and they think that, they have made it and they're walking down, here comes something to slap them down. Here comes some added hurt. Here comes some added pain. So they're going to put up that wall. And that might even be you. That might even be you when I'm talking about dealing with your confidence. Why? That things are maybe affecting you now. Because you have put up walls to protect yourself. And I understand that. I totally understand that. I've dealt with people like that. And I didn't find it, offensive to me. when they answered me in a certain way, or, they were so rude. I just continue to be nice and calm to them. And eventually, they came down, but then they may have even said, well, I apologize. I'm not blaming you, but blah, 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 blah. And sometimes people tell you more than what you want to know, but you listen anyway. And it might be you, okay? But I know you have to protect your heart. And I know that you've been hurt. But what did I mention before? Sometimes you have to change. Don't hold yourself in situations where you're going to be abused emotionally. You know, people say, what's that say? Sticks and stones when they break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words hurt. Criticism hurts. And they leave people wounded forever. So find someone, and there's somebody for everybody, okay? And you'll know. But you find somebody with integrity who can help you. And the reason why I said integrity, somebody who's not going to blab your business all over to everybody. There are people out there that are willing to help you, and you'll know them. You'll know them. It comes from an inner knowing. You'll know them, who they are. Because you can't tell everything to everybody. But there's somebody out there that could help you to deal with your confidence being challenged. That where you have built up walls now, it's eating up at your heart. And that could cause sickness. That could cause disease. That could cause many, many things. I know a personal situation. It happened in my own house with my mother and grandmother, because my grandmother was living with us when I was growing up and everything, because she was practically blind. She had one eye. I think she had lost her eye back in the days from glaucoma. They took out the eye instead of treating it. Nowadays they have better ways to do that. But sometimes she used to say little mean things to my mother. And my mother was a person that she would always hold things in. Always hold these things in. And I remember how this affected my mother's health. Because my mother would never open up and express herself and say, well, mama, don't talk to me that way, or blah, blah, blah. She never would say that. She took it all in, and that wound up affecting her health. So, like I tell you, there's always somebody that you could talk to. There's always somebody, but make sure that that person has integrity. And another one, when I'm talking about dealing with your confidence, have an attitude of gratitude. Okay? Be thankful each and every day. That helps you. That will help you. Be grateful for something. If it's no more than waking up in the morning, okay? And here's another one to go over that. Waking up in the morning with a sound mind. How many people didn't wake up this morning or didn't wake up with a sound mind? Thank God that you have a sound mind. You woke up this morning. All your limbs are in place, okay? You could walk. You could see. You could talk. You have food to eat. You have a shelter over your head. You have clothes to wear. Be grateful for something, especially in those small areas. Don't look for the big, grandiose things, but the small things. Be grateful, okay? Have an attitude of gratitude. And that will change many, many things in your life. It will begin to break down some things, eradicate some things. Be grateful. Be thankful. Even look for ways to, express your gratitude to people, even in the small things. And it does a lot for you on the inside. Okay? It begins to release some things inside of you. It will begin to uplift your spirits where, you no longer see yourself a certain way. Because now you'll see people's expressions when you maybe give them what? You buy their cup of coffee or whatever, or give them a card or give them a flower. You'll see their expression. Now that you'll begin to see that, you are worth it. There's something about you that's special, that somebody needs. A simple smile when they smile back at you for surprising them with that, what they call it, random act of kindness. Okay? Just that. That simple smile goes a long way. Now, let me move into the last and final one when I'm talking about dealing with confidence and being challenged, worrying. Oh, Lord, I could tell you about worrying. Worrying about this and worrying about that. Not being able to sleep, waking up all throughout the night, pacing the floor, worrying. Okay? And you're so absorbed in your problems that that's all you could see. That's all you can see. I call that being self-absorbed. And I know everybody's going through something, okay? This is life, y'all. Everybody's going through something. You're either going through it, you came out of it, or you're getting ready to go in it. But worrying, you have to begin to deal with those things, okay? And the way you could deal with those things is being aware of your thoughts and imaginations, because your thoughts about that problem and the way you imagine them, then you begin not only thinking about them, now you begin to see those things in your mind's eye. That's that imagination. And you beginning to imagine this scenario and that scenario and what if and how come and all of those things. You have to be aware of your mind. Sometimes you just have to shut it down, okay? But cast down those imaginations that's going to affect you, because they will affect you if you allow them to continue to grow, because they'll go from one thing to the other. You'll go from scene to scene with that worration in your mind. And at the end of the day, you'll have a whole story, or you'll have a whole mini cast, okay? Not only for this day, but then you'll carry it on to the next day and the next day. Think about that. Those things come to challenge you, your confidence, what somebody done said about you. I would say replace worrying with something that's going to bring you peace. Okay? Something that's going to bring you peace. Something that's came to me as I'm talking to you about this worrying in scenarios. Since you're picturing all this in your mind and you're going from scene to scene, why don't you write about it? Thought about that? Thank me for it later, okay? This gave you a tip. But sever the cords with whatever that is that's causing you to worry. Sever them cords. Whether it's people, places, or things, sever those cords, because it's not worth it, okay? But you are worth the value, those treasures and gems on the inside of you. You have worth and you have value, okay? But teach people how to treat you. And the question is, how are you treating yourself? How are you treating yourself? Because they need to see an example of how to treat you from the way that you're exhibiting how you treat yourself. So I hope that, what I have talked to you about today, when I'm talking about dealing with your confidence being challenged with, your words, that criticism, the words that people are saying about you and you receiving it, that criticism that they're criticizing you about and you accepting it, that isolation that you feel like you just want to shut the world out. You don't want to be bothered with nobody and no one. Even in your home, open up those windows, open up those blinds, pull back those drapes, okay? Allow the sun to come into your house, into your surroundings. Don't be sitting there in the darkness. If it's at night, turn on the lights, okay? You might say, well, the light bill be high. Turn on the lights, okay? If you have to sit in one place under a lamp, make sure you have that light right there. But come out of darkness, okay? Into the marvelous light. Come out of darkness. Don't allow those thoughts and all of those things to continue to sabotage your peace, your joy, all of those things that is so vital to you. Don't allow that darkness to be there and hold that cloud, that shadow over you, that you're thinking that you cannot come out. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You could come out anytime you want. You don't have to remain there. Okay? Building up walls. I understand that people have hurt you in the past, but there's somebody for you out there that will help you. But somebody with integrity. Okay? Find somebody with integrity. Somebody that's not going to have your business all over. There's somebody out there for you. And worry. That's a big one. And I gave you a hint with that one. Okay? 7 of them chords, y'all. 7 of them chords. Don't be ashamed to do it. So I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule today to be here with me on this segment of Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show and talking about dealing with your self-confidence and how to discipline your mind. Discipline your mind. Okay? Be aware of what's those thoughts that's running through your mind each and every day. But I look forward to seeing you the next time on another segment of Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. And for the most part, I want you to remember this. The word for today is refreshing. Everything is new. Make everything new. Or it's not make everything is new. It says everything is made new. Okay? Refreshing. Everything is made new. So until next time, remember, this is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. So have a great rest of your day.